Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. Okay, you may have heard about a little something happened Sunday night called the Golden Globe Awards, because really the topic of conversation has been the host, Ricky Gervais, making a lot of comments. It was his 5th time back hosting the Golden Globes, and he admittedly said probably his last. Now, he had hosted for like 3 years in a row, and then he offended so many of the Hollywood elites, they didn't ask him back for a while, and it went back and forth from different hosts. And when I heard he was hosting again, I went, literally, jaw hit the floor, because, now, again, call him controversial or not, when you're in a room full of very rich, powerful people, the last thing you think about doing is offending them or criticizing them, because they're used to being praised constantly, getting told how wonderful they are, getting free things when they can actually afford to buy it themselves. Look at me getting on my soapbox already. Now, I wanted to show you just a few of Ricky's jokes. Now, I did not get into the more controversial ones, if you call them controversial, because we're a morning show. We will talk about them. I just didn't want to play that on the air this morning. But I will play a few of his jokes that I thought were just really funny. Take a look.
Right, but seriously, most films are awful, lazy, remakes, sequels. I've heard a rumour that there might be a sequel to Sophie's Choice. I mean, that'd just be Meryl Streep going, well, it's got to be this one then. The Irishman was amazing. It was amazing. It was. It was great. Long, but amazing. It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So...
That is just comedy gold right there. I love it. He basically was telling the celebrities to get off their high hopes. I'm going to move on, because I'm going to bring Kelly in at the end of this to talk about this, because I had her watch that this morning, and I loved watching her reaction. So let's move on now. They gave the Cecil B. DeMille Award to Tom Hanks, who is America's best friend. Like, they call, like, Julia Roberts and Reese Witherspoon and those types America's sweetheart. I don't know what you call Tom Hanks. What's the other word we could call Tom Hanks, guys? Think about a word, because he's just like America's good guy.
Best friend.
America's best friend. That's a good one, Kel. Because he's just every man. And by the way, the shots they cut to him during Ricky Gervais' speech, this was his face the whole time. He didn't know what to do with his face. It was so uncomfortable, but it was funny. Tom Hanks got up for the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and he was brought to tears, which I like, because the thing that brought him to tears was just his family, which lets you know these people are real people. Even though they make tons of money, make movies, they're famous. He was very thankful for his family, and he had a throwback to one of his first TV jobs. Take a look.
Can I tell the truth now? Can I just see a show of hands? How many people in this room have a clip package that includes the Love Boat? Anybody? Well, you, Charlize? No? Well, you missed out. There you go, Kathy. There you go. And what do we have? Love, exciting, and you climb aboard. A man is... Sorry. A man is blessed. A man is blessed with a family sitting down front like that. A wife who is fantastic in every way, who has taught me what love is. 5 kids who are braver and stronger and wiser than their old man is. And a loving group of people who have put away with me being away months and months and months at a time. Of course, otherwise I wouldn't be standing here if they didn't have to put up with that. So I can't tell you how much your love means to me.
That is just so sweet. To me, that's what I like to see from these Hollywood elites, is just them being themselves, talking about real things, things that we can all relate to. You know, I can't relate to having my Jaguar Mercedes-Benz break down, because I don't have that. I'm just saying. Real people. I do want to move on quickly to, of course, our local, Kelly's ex-boyfriend, Brad Pitt.
Oh, no!
I'm going to bring him in here, Kelly.
Don't be
Of course, Brad Pitt won for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and of course he had to give a shout-out to the Ozarks. Take a look.
John Lehman, who's not here, And I want to say hi to my folks, because, hey, they're back in the Ozarks. I wanted to bring my mom, but I couldn't because any woman I stand next to, they say I'm dating, and just be awkward. All right, thank you. Hey, if you see a chance to be kind to someone tomorrow, take it. I think we need it.
And see, he thanked the Ozarks, and he left with that just be kind, which was so just nice. You know, it wasn't political. It wasn't be on this side or the other. Kelly, get over here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm bringing you over because I don't even care. I know I sent some pictures about other people, but I really want Kelly and I to talk about Ricky Gervais because...
You want to talk about Ricky
and Brad Pitt, your ex.
Oh, no, listen, no, you're starting rumors out there. Brad and I were just friends, but I thought we might get married. Sorry, Dave. You know, he married that Angelita girl. Anyway,
yeah.
So the thing is... kindness is important. I'm glad he said that.
Yes.
Ricky Gervais, yeah, you were watching me watch it, and I was cracking up because, honestly, I was truly raised to believe that every single one of us is equal in God's eyes, and some people succeed in the world's eyes, and that's a great thing. I have no problem with people having money, working hard. I don't have any kind of bad feeling towards that, except when they start to think that they are all that. I loved Ricky just putting them in their place.
Right.
I mean, it was amazing to me because these are the things I kind of want to say sometimes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, these Hollywood elites are not used to people saying that to them.
And it was amazing. I loved it. Now, you're right. It could be the last time he comes in. Although, the ratings were so good, the networks might say, sorry, folks, we got to bring him back.
And, by the way, I was looking at his Twitter. After he did that performance, his Twitter feed, he gained 300,000 followers after that. He went on to thank, hey, thanks to you to all the 300,000 that just followed me. He created The Office. He's funny. He says it like it is. Now, he is a very rich, powerful person, but... he can put it all in perspective, which I appreciated.
One thing real quick that he said was, hey, y'all Hollywood elites, you don't need to get on a soapbox and tell me who to vote for because, or talk politics, because you don't know anything.
Hey, I'm on TV. I wouldn't tell you who to vote for.
No,
I'm not smarter than you. No.
Loved it, Jeremy.
All right. Don't go anywhere. More fun on Ozarks Fox AM right after this.
That's right.
I mean, he was just like jab after jab.
Boom, 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 boom. It was so good.